There is continued to discuss about the class policy for CSCI 2320 data structure class. My name is Dr. Bernard Chen. I've joined UCA since 2008, so I've been working here about 12 years. I'm currently the full professor in the department, and my office is in CST 304. The best way to reach me is through the email. So that if you write me an email, bchen, B-C-H-E-N, @uca.edu, you will be able to reach me. The best way to make the communication with me is through email, and make sure you add your class number into the subject so that I would pay extra attention to your email. Otherwise, I got a lot of emails every day. It may not reach me perfectly. The class schedule is online so that we will not hold any face-to-face meeting. We will also not going to have any synchronous meeting, which means that I would set up a time for you guys to meet with me online. We will not do that since this is the class for the online version. All of the class materials are delivered through the pre-recorded videos, which is also what we call the asynchronous schedule. I do hold office hour for the class online support, so that besides the email me to do the communication, another best way to reach me, and this might be the best way to ask any class-related materials, including the class materials, project, assignments, exams, etc., is that from Monday through Friday, so that every day during the weekday from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m., I will be able to meet through the Google Meet, and we will use this Google Meet link throughout the whole semester. And this is going to be a great way for you to meet with me online, and we can share the screens, discuss all of the questions that you have, and try to answer your questions. One important thing you need to understand is that regarding to the questions about the projects, unlike CS1 and CS2, there is a built-in lab time to the course. You may notice that this class is a 3 credit hour, so that we will not have the lab hours. That is said, you are supposed to know how to write your own code, debug your own code, find the problems already. So when you come to see me through the class online support, I'm not going to do the debug for you. What we will do is that you ask me a question. For example, why this part of the answer is not fitting what you are expected. This is the kind of discussion. So I will not debug for you, so that you cannot just come to the class online support and say that, hey, my code has the following error messages and I don't know how to fix it. Please fix that for me. It's not going to work like CS1 and CS2 anymore. This is going to be the question-based problem. You ask me a question, I'm trying to solve the question. This is going to be a very big difference. That means you have grown up in terms of the computer science levels. The attendance and drop policy. Attendance are mandatory, and the way I'm checking attendance is through your submission of the online assignments. So that you need to submit your online assignments by the date I provided over there. Usually it's 1 day after the class material has been posted. Attendance is mandatory unless you have the following 3 legit reasons. I would not be able to excuse it. The school-related activities, as well as medical-related absence or family-related emergency. No matter which one that you use as your reason, you need to provide me some written documents. The school activities must provide you some participation letters or anything. Medical, show me the doctor's note. For family emergency, please provide me any documents that you are able to support your reasons. It is your responsibility to find out any information that you missed due to the absence. And you know this is online course, so you can easily go to Blackboard and be able to watch the videos that I posted over there or any announcement I had over there. Students need to submit their assignments given in the video lecture by the due date to count as attendance. Homework, projects, and assignment policy. I don't accept late submissions unless you give me the right reasons. And of course, if that's happening, email me, tell me why you have not submitted those assignments on time. I will evaluate the situation. Unless specified or otherwise, you may collaborate on homework. However, the work submitted must reflect individual efforts. So your code cannot be the same with other people's code. You can discuss about the logics over there. However, the implementation must be done by yourself. All project homework assignments as well as the exams must be done in individual basis. Any duplicated code submitted will result in 0 score for the project for all assignments, or dismissed from the class and assign an F score at the end of the semester. So don't do that. Work on your own parts. The rest part of the class policy are very basic, so please read yourself and make sure you understand the situation. Missing an exam is a very serious matter. There are only 3 mentioned legit reasons that you may miss the exam so that I can consider to give you the makeup exam. However, try to take the exams at the designated time. The exam will be held online as well. I will open up, give you about 1 day window for you to finish the exams and make sure you have answer all of those questions that are given in the question. So there are also some other necessary mandatory information be listed in the syllabus, so make sure you understand all of those informations. And finally, I want to discuss with you guys about the regular syllabus. So in this table, it shows you for each classes what are the topics that's going to be covered. And you know this is only a summer course, so it's actually being condensed all the materials in about 1 month. So for the first week, which means the class 1 through class 5, we will start with discuss about the syllabus. This is what you are seeing right now. We will talk about the big O analysis. And then the next day, we will look into the big O analysis and using another example to make sure you fully understand. So you can see that one topic is going to be covered in 2 classes only. So make sure you follow all the materials, understand all the details I provided in the video, and do the assignments to reflect your true knowledge about this topic. Then we will look into the next topic called lists. And based on the topic of the lists, we will also do a lab over there. And again, only 2 days, 2 classes, we cover the topic with the list as well as a lab over there. And then after that, we would look into the project 1, and which is basically implementing something we have done in the lists. And then we look into the topic of stack using 1 class and another class look into the queue. After that, we will have a second project being posted and then give you some practice exam as well as the review so that you can prepare for class 8, the very first exam. You can see that project 1, the duration between project 1 and project 2 are very short. It's only because project 1 is more like a warmed up project. It's much smaller. However, compared with project 2, project 3, and final project, those 3 projects are much bigger projects you need to accomplish. So it's going to give you some heads up so that you will know what you are about to face. After the first exam, we will look into the tree structure. The materials covered between the first exam and second exam are all about the trees, which again will use the concept about the pointers, and so that the pointer which will evolve into linked list, the major key implementation in this class. We will, class 9, we will talk about the tree, and we will talk about tree and binary search tree. And using the concept of binary search tree, we will do some more implementations as well as the lab part, and then we will look into a project. We then will move into the topic of binary heap, half-frame, encoding tree, and then give you a practice exam and a review so that you can prepare yourself for the second exam. And finally, we will look into the recursion as well as the runtime stack, give you the concepts of how stack, which is the topic we discussed earlier, really implemented, or how it's useful in the current computer technology. And then we will look into the recursion sorting, with the final project is about the sorting, which will talk about how do we sort using many different sorting algorithms. And more importantly, after the different sorting algorithms are being introduced, we will also look into the parallel computing concept, give you a very brief introduction about the parallel, immerse that concept into the sorting algorithms so that you can have some basic understandings and be able to think or be able to understand how do you use multiple CPUs in terms of the implementation. And finally, we will move into the hash table. That's going to be an important topic related to the current technology in database implementations. And finally, we will have the preparation for you to do the final exam. So in the end of this, since 2011, this department has been selected as part of the implementation in the parallel computing. So it's trying to introduce you the concept of the parallel computing in data structure so that you will feel interested in this kind of topic. Think about this in your cell phone, in your computers, in all the CPU embedded machines. Right now, many of those have multiple cores. Like even your cell phone may have 4 CPUs or 8 CPUs, but all the codings that you are learning so far is related to one single CPU. So how would you use those technology? How would you use those functionalities to accelerate or to make your program more efficient is going to be something very important to CS related majors. And therefore, we want to introduce that in the topics of the sorting. And the final project will also have a small touch about the parallel computing so that you would be interested in how does this work in this topic. So that concludes the whole syllabus discussion for CSCI 2320. If you have any questions, feel free to join the class online support or my office hours, or email me any questions that you have. I would love to discuss, or I would love to solve any problems that you may have.